Girls, who's going to win, Joshua against Usyk, the rematch?
Usyk. Usyk. Usyk.
Yeah, well, I thought you might say that, but I thought we might get some pearls of wisdom from Sugar Ray Leonard.
We like him, Master. He's very, very good.
He is. He's still good now, even though he's in his 50s. Got here the autobiography of Joe Calzaghe anyway. The foreword is written by Sugar Ray Leonard, the great middleweight.
He was so great, Master.
He was. Okay, and what we're going to look for here are psychological clues. Is there anything here that could help Joshua when he goes into the rematch?
Master, nothing can help Joshua. He's dead.
That's a little extreme, Aquinoir. Okay, this is Leonard talking about when he saw Duran. I'll never forget. He had eyes like Charles Manson, the serial killer. He was one scary-looking man. And psychologically, he got to me. He took me out of my game, and I find myself fighting a different kind of fight, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, with the hands of stone.
Sorry, who was that?
That's Duran, you fool. Yeah, where was I? It wasn't the brightest decision I ever made, said Leonard. My cornerman tried frantically to get me to box, but I was like a racehorse with the blinkers on. I fought Duran in a way I thought I could beat him, and even though I lost the decision after 15 rounds, I gained a different kind of respect for engaging this man in such a tough physical battle, almost a street fight.
Oh, how did the fight go, Master?
Well, been a while since I watched it, but basically Leonard fought like a madman. Duran fought as he always did, getting in close, very short. Probably outmatched boxing would call him some kind of, bulky garden gnome or something. I don't know. He's a short guy, stocky, very, very fast hands, Duran. Very dirty, hit you low, hit you with his head, hit you with his elbow. He was a dirty fighter.
Oh, we like those the best, Master.
Yeah, I know you do. But anyway, and what, do you know what he did beforehand?
He was rude, wasn't he, Master?
Yeah, so before the fight, Roberto Duran was insulting Leonard, and in particular, he said, I won't repeat it, but he said something really disgusting about Leonard's wife regarding what he would do to Leonard and then what he would do to his wife after the bout.
Oh, Master, if anyone said anything like that about your wife, what would you have done?
We won't go into that. But this is it, that he really riled him up with these vile insults beforehand. And the reason why I'm mentioning all of this, why I'm even bothering doing this video, is it can affect you. Even an elite fighter, an elite athlete like Sugar Ray Leonard was affected by the psychology of Duran. Those vile insults, all the rest of it, the eyes of Duran. Leonard wanted to hurt him. Leonard was scared of him. It would appear from this anyway. He said, he looked like a serial killer, psychologically got to me. It would appear Leonard was scared when he's looking him in the eyes, thinking, I'm not sure I like this, I'm not sure I want to be in the ring with this dude. So he scared him a bit, he intimidated him, and Leonard really wanted to hurt him because of the insults directed to his wife and all the rest of it. And it affected his performance. The cornerman was saying, no, stop doing that, get out, box him at range, use your legs, use your fast hands from distance. And he wasn't. He was just getting in close, allowing himself to... Duran was very good at blocking off the ring, obviously, and cornering Leonard and so on. But the point is, it can get to you. Do you think Joshua could learn anything from that?
Master, Joshua is as the YB says, Mahatma Gandhi. He's all about the peace and the love. Yes, we think he's all about the peace and the love. I don't know, Master. He did sell drugs on the streets of Watford.
Yeah, the rough streets of the ends of Watford. Yeah, okay, he did. Look, I don't think it's in his nature, but if I was him, I'd be looking to start riling him up. Because the problem is, Usyk has such... Usyk, I have to check. Don't speak. My Ukrainian's rusty. The problem with Usyk is that he, I believe, did train in dancing. I think Chris Andre said that. Looking at his feet, it looks like he did anyway. He's so light on his feet, so good with his footwork. He's like a tap dancer. Joshua won't be able to trap him. He'll stay on the move. You've got to get him to come and attack you. How do you do that? Well, one way could be psychology. By trying to rile up the dude. By trying to intimidate and insult him. Can Joshua do that?
I'm guessing no.
Yeah, I'm guessing no as well. But obviously, he can dance on his feet all he wants, stay at range as long as he wants. That's not going to win him a round. He needs to land his gloves on Joshua. So, Joshua's going to have to lure him in. If, by any chance, he does get him up close, Usyk has the shorter arms, so he's got the faster hands, shorter arms. But what do we know about Joshua?
He has the Joe Louis short right hand.
The straight one?
The straight one.
He does, yeah. So, we know if Joshua can get them up close, he can do those short uppercuts even. He can land uppercuts on the body as well as the head. He can land a short straight right. So he has some of those punches that will work up close. If he can get the chance to land them. And look, if it was me, obviously speaking from a very, 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 very low level of sport, I've beaten people a lot more skillful than me simply by riling them up before and telling them how great I am and how useless they are. And you'd be amazed how people can just melt under pressure. And you think, well, no athlete's going to do that. No elite athlete's going to do that. Leonard did. That's what he said. Anyway, what happened in the second fight, just to conclude this, he says, we fought 3 times in total. The second time, I humiliated him and he quit. The third time, I had 60 stitches after the fight, 20 inside my mouth. That was a bit mean, wasn't it, for Leonard saying, the second time I humiliated him and he quit. They're meant to be good friends now, so that's a bit rude how I humiliated him. But he did really. Leonard Duran, it was even the second fight in my book. Yeah, Leonard was maybe edging it, but it was pretty close. And then, Leonard started poking out his tongue. He did the famous bolo punch where he sort of feigns, he feigns like he's going to do an uppercut, was it? I can't remember. No, yeah, he feigns like he's going to throw a bolo and then he catches him with a jab, wasn't it? Whatever. It was hilarious anyway. Not for Duran, obviously, but watching it now. Anyway, yeah, so the second fight, he did indeed mock him, dance around, pull silly faces, do little dances, and it worked. It actually worked. And to be fair, that's another thing you can learn. Just sometimes the showboating, it seems, can win you rounds. I mean, I always thought the Leonard-Hagler fight was... I edged it to Hagler myself, but Leonard, at the end of the round, he'd flurry. And sometimes just looking like you're the best person in there, just looking confident, looking like you're winning, doing the showboating and so on, that can catch the eye of the judges sometimes if you're in a favourable situation. Otherwise, if you're away with an unfavourable crowd, it might have the opposite effect. I don't know, like for example, Joe Saunders against David Lemieux. It was a shutout. It was 12 rounds to 0, but the judges gave quite a few to Lemieux, probably because Billy Joe was just in there mocking Lemieux a bit too much and the crowd hated it. I don't know, or maybe they were just paid off, whatever. We're digressing. But the important thing is, that second fight, the humiliation factor certainly made a difference. And why did Duran quit? He said he'd had a dodgy steak earlier on in the day, and indeed, after the weigh-in, he had ravenously eaten a steak with his bare hands, apparently. He just kind of tore it to bits and chewed the thing up, and apparently everyone around him in the restaurant at the casino, or wherever, I don't know where this particular one was Las Vegas, I don't know. Everyone was horrified because he looked like some kind of wild animal, like tearing at this massive steak. So he had eaten a big steak, and he said that he was getting stomach cramps, and that was why he quit. But obviously Leonard thinks that it's just humiliation. We know he said no mas, no more. We know when he got back home that he did face a hell of a lot of criticism for that quitting, so he probably rues it to this day. Stomach cramps or no stomach cramps, humiliation or no humiliation, he's never stopped getting stick for quitting. But he gave a good account of himself in the third fight. But anyway, so all of that, what can we learn from it, girls?
Psychology is king, Master. Yes, psychology is king. Master, it's all about the head.
It is, yeah. And so Joshua can change trainers as long as he wants. He can change styles as much as he wants. But it's his mindset. If he goes in there thinking, damn, this Usyk's too good for me, he's stuffed.